Hi, my name's Matt, and welcome to another episode of Rocket Surgery. Today we're going to start probably the most controversial episode on Rocket Surgery thus far. We're going to do a Mosin Nagant Resto mod. Now, for those that don't know, a Resto-mod is where you restore and improve something. Typically you see it in hot rods and motorcycles. And it's a lot of fun. You get to combine some new things, some old things, and you end up with a really cool project that is in keeping with the spirit of the original. So, given that this is a tough as nails Russian rifle, the Resto-mod today is going to keep this as a tough as nails Russian rifle. First up, tearing it down. When you're working with Russian or any military surplus weapon, you're going to run into what's called cosmoline. It's a preservative spray designed to keep metal from rusting, but with these old rifles, what they would do is just basically dunk them. It would get everywhere. So it was damaged and beat up when it was put away into storage, and because of that, the stock color-wise is ruined. Here's about the best that I could do on the drill press. Not bad. Here is what a professionally turned pillar pillar looks like. Excuse me. So what I've gone ahead and done, they're 10 bucks on eBay, so just buy them. We can fit these real quick, and you can see that my holes are way oversized, which is okay because that will give something for the JB weld to bond to. It'll give it some space, so it'll really be able to grab in there. And so we're going to fill all these holes and all these little cavities here with just modeling clay. Then we're going to coat everything in a couple coats of wax as a release agent. We're going to use JB Weld to bed our pillars and then eventually bed our barrel. The reason I've chosen JB Weld is because it's inexpensive, for one. It's a decent epoxy, it can fill very well. And then the last thing that I think a lot of people overlook is it has good thermal properties. So it's going to stand up to the heat that this barrel can generate. So I'm going to mix them up, bed the pillars, go from there. One thing I didn't show on camera was the addition of that hole. That hole goes back into the stock this way, and it's gonna fit a piece of 3/4 inch threaded rod. Or sorry, 1/4 inch threaded rod. I'm gonna cut this off, and that's gonna get glued in, and it just provides a little bit of extra security here across the weakest point of the stock. Next thing we're going to do is create a butt pad. Giggles are allowed. I've got a piece of 1/2 inch EVA foam, and I'm just going to lay this down. Basically trace out 2 pieces, which will give me an 1-inch long pad. We're going to fit them and sand them down here after the fact. Now that I've got them outlined, I'm going to cut them out using a very sharp razor blade. While we wait for the JB Weld to set, we're going to finish shaping the butt pad. Laugh if you will. You can see I've already done a little bit of shaping on it on one side. So I'm going to get the other side to match. And to do that, I just have a piece of 60 grit sandpaper taped to a yardstick so it gets me a nice flat surface, and I just sand it. Now, you do want to wear your respirator. The dust that comes off this is very fine. I've got a piece of scrap leather, and we're going to do the glue up in stages. First stage is going to be gluing the face, then we're going to glue the sides, and then we're going to glue the top probably. The goal is to get this to stretch and fit nice and tight. So that's why we're going to kind of approach it in that manner, so it's a little easier. Now I've got my contact cement here. I'm going to give it a good shake and then apply it and start the glue process. It's been 24 hours, we've let this set. Now comes the moment of truth. Did I ruin this project or not? Let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Hey, all right. And there we go. We've got a nicely bedded barrel and receiver. Put a couple coats of shellac on, and now I'm going to wet sand that smooth. The shellac fills in the grain and any imperfections on the surface. I'll wet sand it smooth and then coat everything with a couple coats of spar urethane. All right, I just got off work and I wanted to rush home and show you guys we are done with phase 1. This is it. This is the final product. You know, this was a lot of fun actually. This was much simpler than I thought it would be, but here it is. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Everything works, and you will see this later in other videos. Turn the safety off. You'll see this later in other videos. We're going to do further improvements on this one. But for right now, we're going to call it. I'm going to take it out to the range in a couple weeks, and I'll post an update and let you guys know how it shoots. But as it stands, locked and loaded and ready to go. And I am very happy with how everything turned out. And I hope you enjoyed this build. Thanks again for watching.
joy of painting with JB Weld. Happy little trees. Happy little trees. There are no mistakes here, just happy accidents. There. We'll go ahead and put a little bit of weld right there. I'm going to come in here, some Prussian blue, a little bit of JB black, JB white, and shoo.